Cromartie High School Review. Synopsis. Mild-mannered Takashi Kamiyama somehow ended up in Cromartie High School, a place where delinquents rule the roost. Somehow, he ended up as the strongest man in class, so he must now find a way to unite the various factions of punks into a cohesive force against rival high schools. But he finds out that not all is as it seems at this wacky school. Is Takenouchi really a tough-faced badass? What's with that rock singer-looking guy? And there's something strange about Mekazawa and his constant maintenance. Can Kamiyama dodge the mohawks and pompadours and survive to become the biggest badass of them all, even while still being a perfectly normal high schooler? Shouldn't we just dispense with the drama and enjoy the ride? Review. Over the last 10 to 12 years, there has been a trend of slapping together as many silly things as possible to create a parody. First, there was Dragon Half. Then there was Elf Princess Rain. Then it was Excel Saga and Puny Puny Poemi. This light-speed acceleration has led to a lot of laughs, but lately, it seemed like too much of a good thing. Works like Troubled Chocolate prove conclusively that humor cannot be measured simply by calculating the number of jokes per minute. Thankfully, Cromartie High School is not one of those anime. Cromartie High is a gloriously skewed and self-aware collage of sight gags, with remarkably intelligent deadpan humor that delivers a humorous slant on numerous facets of Japanese culture. In a sense, it's the tough guy version of Azumanga, but it involves a lot more of the surreal, and the tone is utterly different, since unlike the slice-of-life randomness of Azumanga, Cromartie is a very obvious parody with large streaks of satire. It is also a damn good show. Takashi Kamiyama, played equally well by Ben Prinsky and Takahiro Sakurai, is a riot as the downtrodden normal guy who somehow ends up being every bit as stupid as everyone else around him. His deadpan effect when talking to people who eat pencils for breakfast is just great. How did he get here? Read the manga, he says. The school badasses are an assortment of weirdos and misfits that will linger long past the end of the DVD, like the hapless Takenouchi, who looks tough, but only because he has a problem with vehicles. Or Maeda, who no one will take seriously because he didn't have a nickname in junior high. Or Hayashida, the tough-as-nails advisor with a mohawk that seems to have a life of its own. And, of course, the sweet-talking punk robot Shinichi Mekazawa, who manages to be even stranger than the 400-pound gorilla in Class 1-3. And then there's that rock singer-looking guy, who everyone simply calls Freddy. If you recognize the album cover being parodied in the first DVD of Cromartie High, then you know who I'm talking about, and yes, he's a major character. If that's not badass, I don't know what is. Galileo, Figaro, Magnifico, oh. The storyline is fairly simple. It follows the everyday existence of Kamiyama and his crazy delinquent classmates, who somehow never seem to be too different, or any smarter, than any other group of teenagers. It's understated, and largely a basis for the pervasive, but well-executed visual humor in this series. However, it should be noted that a lot of the humor is based on the tough guy delinquent genre of boys comics, which is very sparsely represented in North American releases. Primarily by GTO and the significantly more obscure bomber bikers of Shonen and Bite Me. Chameleon. More recently, another comedy, Gokist, takes on the same topic from a somewhat different angle. Some people will find fault with the simplistic animation, but consider the following: shows of the delinquent genre have been notorious for poor animation quality, which is part of the reason very few of these titles are ever licensed. It's purposely terrible, with unattractive art, excessive and heavy hash lines, and lots of still frames, and it's even referenced numerous times as a joke in its own right. The eclectic music isn't much better per se, though one episode revolves around the whole cast trying to remember the title of a 90s hit song by humming it, and largely failing. Technically speaking, this simply isn't a show to take seriously. I mean, why would you? It's a comedy,